It's lights, camera, action at the playing arena of the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League, as it's a big matchup for the S3 Alpine Warriors taking on the Triveni Continental Kings. And to call the action,
there we have Mr. Mahesh Srinivas Bhupati, an Indian former doubles world #1 tennis player,
the
making
tennis
the first
legend.
move. Yes.
He is the Indian tennis legend, and there Magnus
He told him what to
telling
do.
him to go with the king's pawn.
King's
It's on the
pawn.
board. Will Magnus take that back? And wow, he keeps it.
You said
He
play
keeps
E4.
it. Is he playing E4? He
Yeah,
takes
he's
it
gonna play
back.
E4. Oh, okay. We'll try again tomorrow.
I think he wants to play it himself.
A huge matchup here. Magnus Carlsen against Levon Aronian. Top to bottom, all 6 boards. Handshakes. It's time to go. And that is 1b3. This
Did
is
he
the
really
cowboy
1b3?
opening. It's on the
Whoa.
board. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Who would have thought 1b3?
Whoa. Yeah, who would have thought? Now all the Cowboys at home are very hyped.
And we often see White start slow. White make these moves that might appear passive, but the only idea is to keep maximum pieces and pawns on the board. As you mentioned, the
That's
fight
right.
in the center by White is more by the pieces than the pawns. And we've got Master Swidler with us. So I'm going to ask him, Master Swidler, Magnus Carlsen going for 1b3, how much of a surprise is this for Lev?
Well, he's been known to play this, and also 1b3 has become, part of the conversation very much due to the efforts of, first of all, Adiban, of course, the beast himself, and then the promotional team over at Chessable, who did a very, very good job promoting 1b3 as #B3Cowboy, which I think made a lot of people play 1b3 who normally wouldn't have, myself included. But on a more serious note, Magnus has played 5 games in a row with Black in this tournament at some point, which is something he's probably never done in his career.
Wow.
And he is planning to enjoy the whites he's getting now.
Let's zoom out and get our bird's eye view and do a quick opening overview of the action that we're seeing across the boards. Same, what catches your attention?
So far, I'm really seeing everything is equal. But I would really like to see what Gukesh is up to in that opening. I think he's not having a great tournament so far. I want to see what his strategy is, because he definitely must be striving for a win. And Tanya, do you think the opening he has chosen is something that can be decisive in his favor?
Well, for Gukesh, it's been a tough tournament so far, as you mentioned, and he's one of the finest grandmasters in the world, one of the biggest prodigies. He's only 17 years old, currently world number 13. His live rating is 2744. He's just an overall beast. He's struggling here. And I think for Gukesh, right now, it's about stopping the bleeding. He needs to stop the bleeding. He needs to make sure that this game, he doesn't lose. I'm not expecting him to go all out right now. I'm not expecting him to take too much risk. What I am expecting from Gukesh in this round is to keep it solid, to keep it under control. James, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's doing right now. In fact, okay, actually, Yu Yangi is actually trying to mix it up a little bit and make some concessions, or actually make some things happen. He takes on he takes on C5 there. So yeah, I mean, this is a very easy position, kind of dry to say the least. It's nothing sharp. Now he's trying to isolate a pawn here. If pawn takes, there was an isolated pawn, so we might see knight takes there. I mean, we have probably a slight pull with white here. I prefer to be white. He actually takes with the queen here. Very nice. Very
Guys,
interesting.
bring out our bird's eye view. The one game that catches my attention is that bottom left table. He's been the man, or should I say the boy, or the man of the tournament so far, the prodigy board, Pragnananda, with a staggering 6.5 out of 7. The H-pawn is marching down the board. Let's do a deep dive on this one.
What was this opening? It's like an English or something. Like something happened here. What happened?
We're going to do a quick action replay, and we're going to reach out to Master Swidler to take us through the opening that we witnessed on this one.
Massive.
Master Swidler.
Thank you, guys. This is a very fashionable line, and something that's been very much a trend in the past, I would say, maybe 5 to 7 years, with the advent of the new generation of engines. So far, so good. This has been known for years and years. But what I'm talking about specifically is this trend of pushing the H-pawn, which you will see in a moment if we go a bit further.
And let's just talk about, this is the moment that the symmetry in the position was changed. Black striking in the center is the first one to go for it. We see the pawn trades. The bishop developed. Black wants to take out his own bishop here, and this is the moment that you were talking about.
Yeah,
Peter.
and this idea has been extremely popular in all kinds of positions, including some positions where you really wouldn't have thought this move would make any sense. This is still reasonably well known, and both players, I suspect, are still very much in their prep.
These two are titans of the game. They played each other a bunch of times, and always fascinating fights, and once again, a really feisty position.
What I like about these type of positions is that, I like to play the knight f3, b3 stuff, where I just want to attack you and castle queen side. And it may even be wrong, but of course, that's practical. I'm going to play a human here, and you're going to have to figure it out, and I'm going to try to checkmate you many times. Now, actually, what Levon said is, I'm not going to castle king side. You're not going to get that opportunity at all. So he went castle queen side as well, giving us more of an equal way of playing here, which is Magnus is fine with that. So I think actually he handled this very well, him meaning Levon. Having the queen on a3 here, the dark squares are kind of weak. The bishop on h7 is pretty strong, quite annoying. But also we have the bishop on g2 doing the same thing.
Guys, what about that knight on d7? Is it planning to come from, somewhere to b4 from a6?
Maybe
Interesting
b8.
idea.
Knight b8, a6, yeah. Or knight c5, knight a6, knight b4. Very possible.
And imagine once the knight lands on b4. I know what you want, Samir. You're an aggressive player. You want the queen and the knight to give checkmate to the white king.
Mate.
And that could be definitely a plan to create play. That there have been some developments on that board number 2. But also all over. Look at that bottom left board. Wow. 3 pawns advanced on the 6th rank. Pragnananda trying to create weaknesses on his opponent's king side. What are we expecting there?
Definitely some fireworks. We got to take a look at that game for sure. Open H file there. It feels like we should castle queen side, but then again, the king can actually run away. That f6 move is pretty crafty, I think. I mean, it looks kind of weird, but the king eventually could run away to f7 and over to e8 if it gets really, really bad.
And you could challenge on the H-line with your own rook, but look at that. Instead, Jonas, he continues to pursue Black's
Wow.
pieces.
Guys, I would like to throw your attention to the first board where the game is over. The icon board, Levon Aronian has taken down Magnus Carlsen.
Whoa! Oh, with the smiles there.
And Magnus
And he's smiling.
through the pain. He does lose that game to Levon Aronian, and maybe we can just see the very end of it. What happened there? Because it was, in fact, the idea that we were talking about with the knight joining the attack. This is a huge result for the Triveni Continental Kings on the icon board. And there we have a very proud Levon Aronian.
Wow.
He's walking out. He's got reasons to be pleased right now.
Of course, he just beat Magnus Carlsen.
I think something very strange happened there because, the best guess I have is that Magnus sort of pre-moved capturing on d5.
The pressure is on.
Maybe we can do an overview and do a quick roundup. Let's say that this game, Gukesh wins. That's 5-6.
Great idea, Samir. Let's bring up our bird's eye view and do a quick roundup of the results on the first board. The Triveni Continental Kings have taken the point with Levon Aronian win. Gukesh here in dominating position. We see an endgame there. He's got one extra pawn, more active pieces. This is for Gukesh. What do you think about Arjun Wei?
I think about Arjun Wei Yi there. Let's see. That looks kind of draw-ish. I'm not even going to lie. But let me see. 3-6, 3-6. I mean, yeah, they're just trying to push there. They're going to probably shuffle back and forth in that game. Prague game. Wow. What happened? What happened there? I have a pass A-pawn? That is very interesting how Prague was losing, and now he's okay, in fact.
Yeah,
So
Prague
then
is
that
completely
means-
fine, yeah.
That means if we go with our roundup, then Triveni Continental Kings is currently leading this match with 1 point.
Arjun Erigasi against Wei Yi, and another crazy position where it looks like Black is dominating. White's king is the one who's under fire here.
I'm a
And
bit
we see
surprised.
moves being
I think
blitzed out.
Wei Yi had a very clean victory just a moment ago, which he decided not to take advantage of, and now he will have to win. There will be 2 queen endings on the board, in which Triveni has an extra pawn on one board and is a pawn down on the other. Both, I think, likely will end up with the side with extra material winning, but these are very, very dramatic endgames, and they can go in different directions.
But a big result update that board number 5 has finished with a draw between Elisabeth Paehtz and Sarah Kadim, but it's all eyes on this one.
No matter what the result of this game, we already have the result of the entire matchup. The
Wow.
game has been won by the Triveni Continental Kings
Whoa.
there.
Wow.
Wei has won against Arjun Erigesi.
I don't think that's true
Wow.
because I think Gukesh also won. So if
Oh.
no, hang on. Yeah, it's two losses. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, of course you're right, Sama, and I will never ever doubt you
And
ever
Queen
again.
F7 is on the board. Queens have been traded.
And that's
the
it.
Triveni Continental
Wow.
Kings, despite losing on this board, will take the match with their big wins. And Jonas there resigns. But it's not enough. Prague goes on to 6.5 out of 7. But the SG Alpine Warriors going down.
Wow.
Wow. That's a huge result for Triveni Continental Kings, who wants to win each and every game. They have 2 more games remaining. One is today, one is tomorrow. If they can win both, they still have a chance.
And
Triveni
with that
Continental
last
Kings.
game over, James, what do you make of this? This has been a day of upset.